All praise to the Most High. Hallelujah. Let's try this again. Tonight we're talking about greed. I pray you all are doing well. I pray that your week has went good. And even if you face some challenges, that you are able to find some value in whatever it is that you are going through. Because each trial, each situation where, it seems like it's going against us, anytime we're facing opposition, we should be counting it all joy. This is all to mold and shape us, to strengthen us, test our faith, build our faith, develop our endurance, our long suffering, grow our fruits of the Spirit. Hallelujah. Glory to the King. Tonight we're talking about greed. Happy Sabbath to you all. Let me know that the sound is good. Hey, Misfit, God bless you. Good evening and God bless you. Peace and blessings to you. Pray you're doing well. As you guys come in, make sure you drop a 7 if I'm coming through clear, if the audio's loud. They're outside digging, laying pipe. Crazy stuff. But they're doing what they're doing. We're going to do what we do. Keep it pushing. Audio's good. Hallelujah. Glory to the King. All praises to the Most High. Tonight we're talking about greed. Dealing with greed. The detriments of greed. How we should move and conduct ourselves. Let's kick it off in Proverbs 28. This is Proverbs 28. Let's get verse 8. It says, Proverbs 28 verse 8 says, whoever increases wealth by taking interest or profit from the poor amasses it for another who will be kind to the poor. Whoever increases wealth by taking interest or profit from the poor, that wealth is going to diminish. The Most High is going to strip it from you and give it to somebody who is more generous and who will give to the poor. Somebody who is more kind will get your wealth because they know how to use it generously. Proverbs 28, verse 22. This is Proverbs 28, verse 22. Says, the stingy are eager to get rich and are unaware that poverty awaits them. Stingy are going to be eager to get rich. They're going to search out the fast money, quick rich schemes. But what's this going to do? Poverty awaits them. They're unaware of it. They're so focused on the here and now, so impatient, without realizing that that wealth is going to diminish. Proverbs 28:22 said, the stingy are eager to get rich and are unaware that poverty awaits them. Verse 25 says, the greedy stir up conflict, but those who trust in Yahweh will prosper. It says the greedy stir up conflict. There are so many friendships, relationships that are ruined, are burned, all because of money. Greed being involved. The spirit of greed can really break good relationships, good friendships. Proverbs 28:25 says, the greedy stir up conflict, but those who trust in the Lord will prosper. You could be broke. You could be, not making a lot. You could be what the social status would be, lower class. But if you trust in Yahweh, you will prosper. Because He's the one who creates all this. He's the one who gives and He takes. Why worship the creation when you could worship the Creator, the one who has the ultimate control over these things? Trust in Him. Let's go to 27. This is Proverbs 28, verse 27. It says, those who give to the poor will lack nothing, but those who close their eyes to them receive many curses. Those who give to the poor will lack nothing, but those who close their eyes to them receive many curses. Look, if it's in your power to give and you don't do it, don't be surprised if bad things happen in your life. Those who give to the poor will lack nothing. And don't ever think the Most High doesn't see you. You might not get a reward for giving to the poor the next day. Your reward for giving to the poor may not be in a week. It may not come in a month. You might have to wait 3 months before the Most High rewards you. But don't ever think He doesn't see it. The righteous will never be forsaken. The righteous will never go hungry. It may not be your timing. It may not be when you think you're wanting it to be. But the Most High knows, and He sees your good deeds. This is Proverbs 28, verse 27. Says, those who close their eyes to them receive many curses. Look, if you just got done getting groceries, you're driving home, you see somebody on the side of the road sitting at the corner. You look at them and you keep on going. Don't be surprised if something bad starts to happen in your life. You're not in a hurry. You don't have anything else going on that day, but you neglect to stop and give them some extra food. Or a few bucks. Here, bless yourself with a meal. May the Most High be with you. Verse 27, later in the verse says, those who close their eyes to them receive many curses. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5, verse 13. Ecclesiastes, pardon me, let's get 10. Let's get 10. Ecclesiastes, chapter 5, verse 10. We're going to start with verse 10. It says, whoever loves money never has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with their income. This too is meaningless. Whoever loves money never has enough. When you worship money, when all your love is for money, you're never going to be satisfied. You're never going to have enough. You're never going to be content with what you have. And what is this? It's meaningless. Verse 13 says, I have seen a grievous evil under the sun, wealth hoarded to the harm of its owners, I have seen a grievous evil under the sun, wealth hoarded to the harm of its owners. Let's get Philippians chapter 2, verse 3. This is the book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 3. It says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself." This is a great way to kill off the spirit of greed, reminding ourselves to do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself. You know, the second greatest command, loving our neighbors. Hebrews chapter 13. This is Hebrews chapter 13, verse 5. Says, "Keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have. Because Yah has said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you." We're talking about greed tonight. Dealing with greed. Hebrews 13:5 said, "Keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have. Because Yah has said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you." You really think he can't provide for you? You really think he doesn't know your situation, what struggles you're going through? He's not going to let the righteous go hungry. And he'll give you every needful thing in due time. In due time. It may not be when you want it. It may not be when you think you need it the most. But in due time. He knows when the timing is right. And he knows when you're going to be worthy of receiving it. So many times we might desire wealth. We might desire to level up. But we're not equipped for it. If we get that too soon, we're going to squander it. We're not going to be well equipped in the ability of preserving it, using it wisely, using it generously. Be content with what you have. Keep your life free from the love of money. Yah has said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. You really think he's not going to provide for you? Oh, ye little faith. Oh, you of little faith. You really think he's not going to provide for you? Be content with what you have. You think God can't care for you? You of little faith. Where's your faith at? Luke chapter 12, verse 15. Then he said to them, "Watch out. Be on your guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in an abundance of possessions. Why store up treasures on earth where moths and rust and thieves break in and steal?" Life doesn't consist in an abundance of possessions. If any of you have been in debt, it really goes to show what you value most. How happy you are just to be able to get groceries. How happy you are just to be able to stop through a drive-through or to have a meal out. Watch out. Be on your guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in an abundance of possessions. There are far greater things in life. Time, relationships, friendships, rest, good health. So many things that money just can't buy. Money can't buy it. Money can't give back time. Money can't restore health. Money can't give you rest. It may ease your anxieties or your fears, your worries, but it's all vain. It's all meaningless. Why be greedy when all these things are not going with us to the grave? Life doesn't consist in an abundance of possessions. Luke 12:15. Matthew 6:24 says, "No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both Yah and money." You cannot serve both God and money. You're either going to love one and hate the other, or despise one and love the other. You can't love them both. You're going to err from the faith. Your heart's going to be led away by one of them. Whichever has more rule over you is what's going to take you. You can't serve two masters. Proverbs 11:28 says, "Those who trust in their riches will fall, but the righteous will thrive like a green leaf." Says, "Those who trust in their riches will fall." The Most High, He gives and He takes. Why trust in your riches? Why do you think your riches are going to deliver you? Why do you think your riches will save you? Why do you think your riches are going to get you out of that pit you're in? They're not. They will fail you. The Most High, He has control over everything. He created everything. The seas, the stars, the heavens, the earth, all the creatures, all creation. He has the ultimate control. He has the ultimate key to your future. Those who trust in their riches will fall. But the righteous will thrive like a green leaf. That's Proverbs 11:28. Proverbs 13:11 says, "Dishonest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow." There's been a long age-old question. Would you rather have $100 or a penny a day for the rest of your life? Or 100 days, I think it was, or 1,000 days, something like that. I'm sure you guys have heard it. But whoever gathers little by little makes it grow. Money gathered little by little grows. Dishonest money dwindles away. That quick money, that quick cash, that fast money, it's going to be stripped from you. Why greed after this? Why be greedy over something that's going to diminish? Dishonest money dwindles away. If you gain money unjustly, don't be surprised if it doesn't last long. The Most High, He gives and He takes. He can strip it from you at any given moment. Those who trust in their riches will fall. Let's get Proverbs chapter 14:31. says, whoever oppresses the poor shows contempt for their maker, but whoever is kind to the needy honors Yah. Let that marinate. Whoever oppresses the poor shows contempt for their maker, but whoever is kind to the needy honors Yah. That one cuts. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10 says, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some have coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through many sorrows. Money is not the root of all evil. The love of money, being greedy for money, greeding over money, spirit of greed overtaking you is the root of all evil. That spirit of greed for money, that love of money, it's going to make you do some unthinkable things. It can make you compromise your morals and ethics and your principles that you stand on. You may not even be a believer. But if you have a moral compass of any sort, that love of money can make you compromise. You don't even have to be a believer. You were raised up with a little bit of foundation about right and wrong, whether biblical or not. There's going to be some sort of principle or moral that you think and that you stand on. But when that love of money enters in, that spirit of greed creeps up. Will you compromise? 1 Timothy 6:10 says, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through many sorrows. We're dealing with greed, talking about greed. Those who coveted after money have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through many sorrows. More money, more problems. You guys have heard that. I'm sure you all have. With more money comes more problems. And there's truth to that. You start getting more money, you start wanting to expand your lifestyle. And then things go backwards. How's that money treating you now? Piercing themselves through many sorrows by coveting after money and erring from the faith. The love of money is the root of all evil. Proverbs 15:27 says, the greedy bring ruin to their households, but the one who hates bribes will live. The one who hates bribes will live. You don't even have to have a spirit of greed, but it could be the next person to you. It could be someone in your circle trying to bribe you, trying to make you compromise your morals and ethics, trying to make you compromise your beliefs for a payout, all for filthy money. The one who hates bribes will live. You don't even have to have a spirit of greed. But beware, a spirit of greed could be operating through somebody else to try to get you off course, try to get you to, try to make that spirit latch onto you. Keep those portals closed. Don't open up your vessel for this spirit of greed. Proverbs 15:27, later in that verse says, the one who hates bribes will live. If you turn down that bribe, keep enduring. The Most High can bless you for it. Well done, thy good and faithful servant. You turn down that bribe that would compromise your soul. Here's what I'll give you. Hallelujah. All praise to the Most High. Glory, all honor, all praises go to the Most High God. The Most High Elohim. Proverbs 22:1 says, a good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold. A good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold. Think about this. Which is far greater? A selfish, rich person or a poor, generous person? Think about the lady in the scriptures who gave more because she gave everything. She didn't even have a lot to give, but she gave more because she gave everything. A good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold. Poor and generous is far more weighty than selfish and rich. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 17. Command those who are rich in this present world not to be arrogant, nor to put their hope in wealth, which is so uncertain, but to put their hope in Elohim, who richly provides us with everything for our enjoyment. 7. All right. Hallelujah. Glory to the King. Audio coming through good. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 17 says, command those who are rich in this present world not to be arrogant, nor to put their hope in wealth. Why? Which is so uncertain. You putting your hope in the riches of this world, putting your hope in the possessions of this earth, riches here on earth. These things are uncertain. They can break down. If they're vehicles, they can break down. They need repairs. They need upkeep. They constant maintenance. If it's money, don't put your hope in money. Money's not going to deliver you when you're on your deathbed. Money's not going to give you rest when you can't sleep. Which is so uncertain. Says, but to put their hope in Elohim, who richly provides us with everything for our enjoyment. Why put your hope in the creation and not the creator of that creation? Why put your hope in the creation rather than the creator who made that creation? The one who made that creation The Most High God, He has the ultimate control. The Most High, He gives and He takes. He holds the ultimate key to your future, to your life. It's vain putting your hope in creation and not the one who created it. Second Corinthians 9 and 7. This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 7. It says, each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for Yah loves a cheerful giver. Yah loves a cheerful giver. Each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion. If you're thinking about giving or doing something generous, you don't even have to be thinking about it. Maybe somebody asks you for your assistance. Maybe somebody asks you to help them out. And if you have a bad spirit about it, if you're reluctant, like, oh man, I got a bill that's due this week. I need to be able to pay. I don't know how I'm going to get through the week. I don't know if I'm going to make it. Man, if you have any bit of reluctancy or compulsion about giving, don't do it. Yah loves a cheerful giver. If you're in a bad spirit about giving, give it a day. Give it 3 days. Give it a week. This is so spiritual. You don't know what kind of spirit could be transferred by you giving reluctantly. If you're not in a cheerful state of giving, you could be harming that person you're giving to. There are spirits associated and operating behind the scenes. Yah loves a cheerful giver. If you're not in a good state spiritually to give, don't do it. Wait a week. Come back the next day. Come back 3 days later. Say, look, brother, I can't help you right now, but I'll get back with you. Yah loves a cheerful giver. Keep that in mind. 1 John 2 and 16. This is the book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 16. It says, for all that is in the world, lust of the flesh and lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. We're talking about greed. Dealing with greed. The lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life. None of this is of the Father. What is this of? This is all of the world. These are worldly, carnal things that are meaningless. They're all vain. What good are they going to do us when we have to face our Maker? Our riches won't save us. Our accomplishments, our possessions. This is all carnal and meaningless. Yeah, it's good to achieve things. It's good to pursue wealth. Money is a tool. But the greed, spirit of greed behind loving money, the love of money is the root of all evil. 1 John chapter 2, verse 16 says, "For all that is in the world, lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world." Last one before we close out. This is 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 6. It says, "But godliness with contentment is great gain." Real wealth, real riches are within, not external. Quick little story here. Back in high school, many of you guys are familiar with Instagram, or I know YouTube has it, maybe even Facebook does, but they've got a bio. You can put in some information about yourself, quick little saying, whatever you want to put in to share with others, right? Well, back in high school, I was so carnal. I was chasing I was just full of vanity, boy. I was chasing wickedness, chasing vanity. Many of you guys have heard, several dirt bikes, several four-wheelers, several trucks. Couldn't keep a truck longer than a year, 2 years probably at the most. Every 3 months probably had a different dirt bike, four-wheeler, buying, selling, trading, whatever. Just never satisfied, like we read in Proverbs 28. But anyway, story I'm trying to say is here. Me and this girl, we followed each other on Instagram. I was just full of vanity, posting pictures and constantly updating, whatever new materialism I had. Just wicked. And this girl here, she had something in her bio that says, and I may be chopping it up a little bit, but I'm trying to remember the best of my ability. Says her bio said, "External validation is not a prerequisite for self-appreciation." Let that marinate. Ponder on that a little bit. It says external validation is not a prerequisite for self-appreciation. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 6, we read, it says, "But godliness with contentment is great gain." Be content with what you have. True self-appreciation is not going to be carnal things. It's not going to be on the exterior. Real wealth, real riches are within, not external. External validation is not a prerequisite for self-appreciation. You are chasing all of these things, and you portraying this lifestyle to others that they think, man, you got the best of the world. Everything's perfect in your life, but you're empty. There's a void that's unfulfilled. And the whole point of that chasing materialism and vanity is to try to fulfill a void that only the Most High can fulfill. Our money's not going to fill it. Our possessions are not going to fill this void. Godliness with contentment is great gain. You will be so much more wealthy by having godliness with contentment. You could be at the bottom of the bottom, bottom of the barrel. People think you're social, that social ranking of what society would deem as lower class or low income. But you are far more wealthy than somebody who is in the 1%, because you have a different kind of wealth. Your wealth is not on the external. It's a spiritual wealth, spiritual riches, spiritual bank cash. Hallelujah. So dealing with greed, the detriments of it, we read that the greedy bring ruin to their households. Proverbs 15:27. 1 Timothy 6:10. For the love of money is the root of all evil. Ecclesiastes 5:13. I have seen a grievous evil under the sun, wealth hoarded to the harm of its owners. Proverbs 28:27 says, those who give to the poor lack nothing, but those who close their eyes to them receive many curses. So detriments of greed, blessings for being generous, having generosity, give to the poor will lack nothing. Hebrews 13:5 says, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. Be content with what you have. Contentment goes so far. Contentment and gratitude, being satisfied with what you have, being satisfied and grateful for where you're at in life, because this is all part of our growth. It's all part of molding and shaping us to get to where we want to be. You know, how are we going to be able to get the things we want if we can't be faithful in the little? We're not going to be well equipped to be able to preserve that new blessing if we don't know how to appreciate it. I pray this helps you all. May the Most High Spirit be with you. Happy Sabbath to you all. Shabbat Shalom. Peace and blessings, family, for King and Kingdom. All praise to the Most High. Bless y'all.